In order to be successful on Etsy, research is a non-negotiable, and every beginner seller absolutely needs to spend time on it. And this is true not only for Etsy, but pretty much any online business. Diving into a shop without research is like trying to explore a new city without a map or a GPS. You're likely to get lost, miss the best spots, and ultimately waste a lot of time. And to be honest, when I first started my Etsy shop, I didn't take niche and product research as seriously as I should have. And guess what happened? A bunch of my early listings, the ones that I didn't research at all, are just sitting there without any sales. Now, there are some great tools out there that make this whole process easier, but of course, most of the top tools require a paid subscription, and for new Etsy sellers, paying for more tools on top of the shop setup fees and the listing fees can feel a bit heavy. And I get it, even $20 a month can feel painful when you're not making regular sales yet. But here's the good news. You can get plenty of useful data for free, and today I'm sharing the exact free tools I used in the early days of my Etsy journey. These tools helped me figure out which products to make, what keywords to use to get found, and gave me tons of ideas for the actual product design and listing photos. So, without further ado, let's dive in. The first is actually Etsy's built-in search bar, and I know what you're thinking. This seems too simple to be actually useful. And most of you probably have already used this, but the search bar is still actually a good starting point. Think of it as your quickest way to peek into what's working for other sellers. You can use it to gauge how much competition a product has, get a feel for whether your product idea has demand, and see if anyone else is already selling something similar. Alright, so we are gonna start with an incognito window so that our previous searches don't influence our search results. And for today's victim, I want to say printable party games. And already with the search bar here, you can see some suggestions popping up like favors and decor. But for today, we're just going to go with games. And generally, what we're going to be looking for are listings with the bestseller and popular now badges. But to make life easier, let's go to all filters here on the top left. And then scroll down to Etsy's best star seller. Click on that, check that. And then up here on the browser search bar, we're gonna look for the word star. So here we go, star, and then change that to best. Now we could see that most of the listings appearing are those with the bestseller and popular now badges. Now that we have all these bestseller listings, let's take a look at our general observations of how sellers approach these listings and what types of items in this category are doing well for buyers. So as we could see, we have some themes of like pink, peach tones, some beiges. In terms of events, they're mostly for birthdays. We have baby showers with that jungle theme. We even have cowboy themed. So we're actually going to be avoiding those with the ad label here because if you click on those, they're going to spend a bit of money on that click when you're not even buying. So just to be polite, let's avoid those. As someone who runs ads, I don't want people to be clicking on my ads for no other reason than to buy, right? Now that we have our inspiration, let's click on something that's unique, like here we go. Fall bridal shower template. It's an 18 cart, so this is a good indicator that it is in demand and people want it and they're probably saving it for when they actually need it. And we're going to be looking at how they list the item, what types of photos they're using for this item, and how they package it to make it more appealing to possible buyers. As you can see, they give a lot of information just to give a lot of clarity with what is included and like what size, what specifications. We have how to use, which is good because some people need a little bit of hand holding when it comes to digital products, especially templates. And then let's check for reviews. So it has 9 reviews, which is a good indicator that it has been purchased a lot. Alright, so let's look for another item that's unique. I'm seeing this animals matching game. So it's in 20 carts and it has a lot of reviews, which is a good indicator that it has had a lot of sales, which is quite expected because the price is really low. But I think here we could improve on the listing photos. They didn't even use a video or have all 10 listing images on here, which is preferable. But anyway, yeah, this is how you do research on the Etsy platform itself. You don't have to use any tools, but already we could see what items we could compete with and what types of unique approaches we could use for our own products. So yeah, these are great indicators that the product idea has a good chance of selling well. If you're seeing items with a lot of views, add to carts, and recent purchases, you've probably found something in demand. And if you think you can compete with these listings, if you think you have ideas for how to add more value to the market, I'd say go for it. Now, Everbee is technically a paid tool, and right now I do actually pay for the basic subscription. But anyway, even without the full version, there's one free feature that's super helpful, and it's a feature that I use the most from all the features that they have. And that is the monthly searches feature. It helps you estimate the demand for your product ideas by showing keyword search volume, which is a huge help in deciding if your product is worth making. Everbee is a Chrome extension, so once you've activated that, you're gonna have to log in and you will see a menu bar here on the left side of the screen. But we're not gonna be using that today. We're just gonna be focusing on the Etsy search bar again. And so let's type in again our keywords or phrase here. Printable party games. This little bee icon is gonna appear with the number of monthly searches that this phrase has, and 1,440 is actually a good indicator that it has a high demand for this printable or digital product. And let's say that we already created our product and we want to search for keywords to use for our title and tags. Let's try other variations that we could use for this phrase. For example, let's remove printable and let's just say party game. So you have party game, party games for kids, party game printable, party games adult. You could think up of variations for how to include other words or descriptors for your title and your tags. Let's try other categories, like maybe you made a bridal shower themed party game. Let's try party game bridal shower. Okay, nothing's coming up. But what if we put it in the beginning of the phrase? Bridal shower party game, still nothing. Bridal shower game, maybe? Okay, there we go. This is how you would generally phrase your title, because that's the phrase that the buyers are using. And when it comes to your title, they say that the most important are the first 4 words of the title. So in order for your keywords to count, I would suggest using the most impactful words or phrases in the beginning of your product title. But still maximize the 140 character limit for your titles and use the phrases that are relevant and descriptive to your product. This is a quick way to validate if your product idea has enough interest. If there's no demand, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad idea. It might just mean that Etsy isn't the right platform for that particular product. For example, you might have better luck selling super niche and obscure artisanal items on platforms like Shopify or local markets, or you might have to rely on organic marketing strategies like social media to drive traffic to your product, as opposed to just leaving it to Etsy's existing consumer base. This is also a good way to validate keywords when coming up with your product title. Start broad, then narrow down your keywords with categories and descriptive words or synonyms to learn what type of search phrases people are using to find what they need. You can even start incorporating these long-tail search terms into your title, tags, and product description. Allura offers a lot of free features, which is fantastic for beginner sellers. But the reason it's third on my list is because it's kind of worth noting that Allura's accuracy isn't the highest according to some comparisons. In fact, I tried running the tool on my shop and the numbers were way off compared to like Everbee. So yeah, take these numbers with a grain of salt. But beggars can't be choosers, and it's still a really good free tool. Allura is also a browser extension that you need to install, so once you have it activated, you will now see a blue logo on the right side of your screen. And we're still on the Etsy website, so let's type in our keywords, multiple party game. And we could click on this icon here and it will generate an overview of products in this search phrase. So instead of going through the homepage, we could actually see this overview in this listings box. And because this is a free subscription or a free trial, it shows us only 25 over 64 of the listings, but that's actually a really generous number for a free tool. In a glance, you could see how many monthly sales that a product has. But what I'm actually gonna do for this tool is I'm gonna look for listings that are relatively new. When you click on one of these thumbnails, you are presented with data here on the left side, and you could see some stats such as the listing age, the conversion rate, even the tags that are used for this item. Okay, this one is 72 days old, which is quite new. It's only 2.5 months old, and it already has 19 sales. So that's a good indicator that even if you started listing now, you could still compete with those old listings that have been established. Let's look for another listing that has good sales and is relatively new. This one has 31 sales and it's only 16 days old. And yes, because we're filming this on almost Christmas, and they actually did the smart move of making a Christmas themed game because people are gonna enjoy that during their Christmas parties or family get-togethers. And it has 20 plus add to carts, so that's awesome. Now I'm gonna show you my favorite feature of Allura, which is to analyze this whole shop, and we're gonna see how old it is. And it is only 2 years old but has already made almost $500,000 in revenue, so that's awesome. But it's important to note that with tools like this, they don't take into account the ad spend and the discounts. Let's look at the discount on these items, and they are all 50% off. So even with that 50% off discount, it means that they made $250,000 in just 2 years of being on Etsy. So that's amazing. Allura has other features in their dashboard. You could go to their dashboard by clicking on their logo here on the top left. Like I said, they are generous with what they have to offer for free accounts. And you're free to explore everything that they have here. I'm not gonna go through everything today, but explore it for yourself and see how Allura can help you with your research. I can't stress enough how useful Pinterest is for Etsy sellers. Even though it's not a traditional research tool, it's more like a visual search engine where you can see what's trending and get inspired for your product designs. Pinterest helps you validate your ideas by showing what's visually appealing to people and what's trendy. It's also a great source for design inspiration. We are on Pinterest and we will be searching for the same thing, printable party games. So even without scrolling, you could see that something is trending right now, and it is this I Spy type of game. Oh, okay. So you look for different elements, party elements in this collage of party-related images. So that's interesting. That has 4 likes. This one has 37 likes, and it is a whole set of the same type of game. So that is something you could draw inspiration from. I haven't seen something like this on Etsy, so maybe to add some value to the market, you could make your own copy of this type of game. What else do we have? So we have card type games, we have maze games, bingo, and yeah, if it's unique and you think it is something that you can sell, go for it. It might take a bit of skill in art, or if you have drawing skills, or if you just know your way around being able to get these kinds of assets from the internet, you can make your own version of this game. Search for keywords related to your product and pay attention to the pins with a high number of likes and comments. These metrics indicate that people are engaging with certain styles, colors, or themes. For example, if you notice a lot of boho style pins are popular, it might be a good idea to incorporate that style into your products. The trends on Pinterest can be a goldmine for keeping your shop relevant and appealing. Now, I have to mention one of my absolute favorite tools, ChatGPT. If you haven't used it yet, I honestly can't recommend it enough, especially for Etsy sellers. Think of it as your personal assistant, brainstorming partner, and problem solver all rolled into one. When I'm drawing a blank on what products to make, or when I need a little spark of creativity, ChatGPT is my go-to. It can suggest new product ideas based on niche or market trends. So let's ask ChatGPT for some ideas. Hi ChatGPT, could you give me ideas for printable party games that are unique and will sell well on Etsy? Talk to it like a person and be as specific as you can. Already, from the first suggestion, we have a type of game that I haven't seen on the front page of Etsy, which is photo scavenger hunt for adults or kids. It's simple to create. You just list a bunch of items that are maybe in your house or wherever you're holding your party, and that's already one page of a bundle that you could sell. Guess Who Life Milestone Edition. So it's a question and answer type of game, funny or die. I'm not familiar with that. Okay, so it's based on memes and so on. There are so many ideas here, 10 ideas from ChatGPT here that you could turn into games. And they don't have to be even like intricately designed. Some of these are just text-based games with fill in the blanks or just general questions that you could turn into cards. And let's say that 10 isn't enough for you. Maybe you want to create a bundle of 50. You could go as far as asking ChatGPT for 50 of these ideas. Another great use is keyword brainstorming. You can use ChatGPT for a list of popular search terms related to your product. You can even fine-tune your request for long-tail keywords that are less competitive but still highly relevant. So now, based on this list, I can cross-check with the tools I had previously mentioned and come up with titles, tags, and descriptions with great SEO. Let's pretend that we created a product for a bridal shower party. So let's ask ChatGPT, give me 15 high-performing Etsy search terms for my product, which is a printable party game for bridal showers made in Canva. So I was specific to say what it was, what it's for, and how it's made. Let's see what ChatGPT will come up with. So now we have some new words that we could actually incorporate into our title and tags, such as bridal shower Canva template, printable bridal shower game bundle. You have the word funny, bridal shower games, instant download. You have bridal shower activities. Oh, that's an interesting synonym. So you have activities, unique, modern, minimalist. We have digital, we have PDF, interactive, and customizable. So now we can, from this list of keywords, we can pick out unique or different words and synonyms or descriptors that we could use for our title, description, and tags. ChatGPT can also be super helpful when you're writing your product descriptions or Etsy shop bio. In fact, I asked it to write this section of the video. Gone are the days where you'd have to spend hours on copywriting and trying to get your words on paper when you're not particularly a good writer. Starting on Etsy can feel overwhelming, and it's easy to get caught up in what you don't have yet, like paid tools or tons of sales. But remember that some of the best progress happens with small, smart steps. And by using these free tools, you're already putting yourself ahead of where I started and ahead of most sellers on Etsy. So take your time, trust the process, and keep learning as you go. Each bit of research and every small improvement that you make will help build a solid foundation for your success. And once you're ready, you can invest in paid tools with confidence. Eventually, when you really get to know your niche based on all the research that you've done, coming up with products and keywords becomes second nature to you. So if you found this video helpful, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more Etsy tips and resources. And if you have any questions or want to share your own experience with these tools, please drop a comment below. Let's start a discussion.